writers, emerging writers, because we feel they give us the direction of the wind for publishing, because they tell us what is happening, what is going to happen, and that way we are so happy that Emerald always takes it upon us as a compulsory commitment to bring young authors to the forefront and to make them speak what they want or write what they want and make it available to the larger audience. As we all know, a book is something like a lifetime record. It's, with these social media posts that are happening nowadays, this just doesn't get carried away after a day or two. It's there to stay. Most books, if you see, are evidences or documents of that life and time of those people who have been featured in the book. And when Shazana came up to us with this, theme of farm tales, which of course is a very, very interesting read. It's a short book, I should say. It's only 90 pages, but it's a very short book. But it tells the travel that she has had in her life from just listening to a TV news or reading a newspaper that carried something very very depressing to know about the status of farmers, and from where that news and how she has been handheld by her parents, and how she has actually gone over to adopting farmers and to help them come up or make a turnaround in their lives. So this is not just a story. One great feature about this book is it's just not a story somewhere thought about in imagination, one waiting, oh, how times would be nice if all this could happen. It has actually happened. And this book is a record of what has actually happened. That way, Emerald Publishers again is so happy to associate with Shazana in this endeavor of her book, Little Shazu's Farm Tales, because this is something which has actually happened right in front of our eyes over a span of about 5 years or 7 years, and how she's been able to make a change in the lives of people who have been rather missed out by many others. And I think this book, Shazana, I'm sure is going to be a great read for the friends who are here, and also many more such stories, inspiring stories that Shazana is really going to experience in her life that are going to come out as books, not just imaginative, creative stories, but real life stories. This is one real life story, and I'm so happy on behalf of Emerald Publishers once again to welcome all of you here and wishing you a great event. Thank you.
And other distinguished personalities who have congregated here for a momentous celebration, the induction of Shazana Sharif's family into the realm of authors. As I recount Shazana's attainments, I am reminded of the fact that a determined mind and a strong will bear endless possibilities. At this tender age, Shazana has countless attainment to her credits. She has been the spearhead of very noble cause. Who would have thought at such tender age a child would be contributing so much for a farmer when everybody is playing around and thinking about video games? Here is a child who thinks about a farmer and their problems which they are facing. Hats off to this child who has got such wonderful inspiration from the parents and took it forward. Great Shazana. We always say, my school, my pride, my Shazana, my pride. Who would have thought that this young girl would be able to provide a platform for a poor farmer to voice their grievances? She had not only championed their malady, but also turned the spotlight on the issues faced by these impoverished food providers. People who complain about not having time should take a page from the life of this young dynamite, a social activist, a prodigy, a spokesperson for the poverty-ridden farmers, a TEDx speaker who uses these days to amplify the condition of the unfortunate farmers. Kudos to this farmer's ambassador. She's been able to balance all the demands of academics along with fulfilling the obligation of a good human being. I'm very proud of you, Shazana, and I'm sure that with your zeal and diligence, no mountain will be too high for you to conquer. At this juncture, I pay my obeisance to the Almighty and express my gratitude to the founder of Chettinad Vidyashram, Dr. Mrs. Meena Muttaya, for empowering us with an institution where we are able to give the space and infrastructure for our students to flourish and blossom. Thank you, Auntie. Shazana is not only an ambassador for the farmers, but she is also Chettinad Vidyashram Young Delegate, as she exemplifies our motto, strive, save and serve. Imagine if each one of us were empathetic about each other, feel for our fellow men and rise to our calling. How wonderful the world would be. I fervently hope that the dream of mine will come true one day. A child is akin to a young seedling that needs proper nature and nurture to flourish to its maximum capacity. Shazana's parents, her mentors, her peer supporters have performed their duties dexterously by providing her with an impeccably robust atmosphere and helped her to unleash her potentials. I can state that with conviction that every reader would brim with pride and motivation on reading little Shazu's heroic journey, hoping that Shazana's compassion and consideration turns contagious and more youngsters come together and defend this noble cause. I wish Shazana and her supportive parents all the luck this world. Thank you. God bless you, dear.
Shazana, who I believe truly is the chief guest of the evening. Shanaz, Sharif, all my colleagues from Indian Terrain, dignitaries, Nalini, and everyone here. You know, I've attended many book launches. I've had the privilege of going to many, but this is something special. Right? This is something special for many reasons. For what this book is all about, for the person behind the book, but most importantly, personally, because it is for somebody, it comes from somebody very, very dear. And that is something which gives me immense pride. I always knew that she was doing a lot of stuff because I've been seeing this for the last 7 to 8 years. Shanaz as a colleague for the last 15 years is somebody whom I worked with very closely, and I've seen how Shazana has grown through the years, how she has developed interests. She would ask all kinds of questions whenever she would come at work and otherwise. And I even then knew that she is going to do something interesting. What that would be, time would have told. And as I have seen her over the last many years, she has got so many talents and so many multivarious things that she gets involved in. And I keep hearing these stories about what you're doing at school. But even through all of that, I never imagined what she was doing when she started this journey about 5-7 years back. And the full extent of this journey I got to know sometime over the last 15 months during COVID, when I really realized how much she has taken that initial germ of an idea, a seed of an idea, and how she has built upon it. As Amadam rightly said, most children of today don't have the time or don't have the inclination, don't have the intent to go beyond the usual stuff, games, playing around, video, etc., etc. So in such a moment, to find time to do something like this, hats off to you, young lady. And more than anything else, I am sure you have inspired tons of your colleagues, your friends at school, people in your family, your extended family, most of us in many ways, to do much more than what we are doing, right? Many of us in this room have the ability and the resources to do a lot more than what we can, but we don't really give ourselves into it. And I think the fundamental difference is passion and empathy and willing to commit yourself fully. That is something you have taught all of us, saying that it doesn't matter if you have money doesn't matter. What matters is, are you willing to give your time? And that's the most important thing. I think that is the lesson that you have taught all of us today through this journey. I think it's just the beginning of many things to come. You always have a home in Indian terrain in terms of your mom being there and all of us and all the people that you have seen over so many years. We are always here to support you. You have now embarked on an even bigger challenge, which is you have entered the, what I call it, the wonderfully dangerous world of cotton. Okay? Yeah, it's a mesmerizing world, as my friend Abhishek will know. But it is something, like just like we think about the food that we eat, and you rightly said, the next biggest thing that happens to us in this country is the clothes that we wear. And of all the various fibers that we see, cotton is that one fiber which is very dear to us as Indians, right? And the stories that we hear about cotton and cotton farmers and what they're going through, it is really scary. I mean, as a brand, Indian Terrain and I've been fortunate to have my colleagues support me in this journey, that we are super committed to making sure that we work only with those over time who can follow sustainable practices. It is our time to give back to all the people who have been supporting this industry. We have been doing that. We have been steadily increasing the share of what we call sustainable cotton in our range, and I hope someday that we'll reach our goal of at least 50% and soon 75% in the years to come. And to make that happen, it's going to need not just commitment of my team, it's also going to need us to look forward and keep getting inspired by people like you and many such young stalwarts across the country. And with that, I think we will be on the right journey. So you're always welcome to come, and we're going to partner with you in this journey to understand what can we do together to make sure that our farmer friends who are doing cotton growing across the country, they start seeing a better livelihood and they start seeing a future for themselves. So congratulations once again, Shazana. Congratulations to Sharif and to Shanaz and to ma'am for giving the space. You know, I have to say this. I grew up, studied here, and during our times we needed this. I wish all of us had the encouragement that today they are getting from you and the school. And I think if we do this, this is a sign that this is the reason why your school is the way it is. And I know other friends of mine whose children study there too, that they get the space to really evolve, develop, and contribute back. So thank you for that, and thank you for continuing to kind of push them through. And I think we got a glimpse of this, of what the opportunity in that association that we had some time back. And I'm hoping to see how we can just build on that further. Thank you very much, sir, for taking the time. I read about you after she told me, and it is just phenomenal, the kind of work that you're doing. So I think we are all honored and privileged to be here amongst all of you, and especially because this area is something that we are all personally passionate about. So thank you once again to all of you who have coming, to all my colleagues here, all the green army sitting at the back from Indian Terrain. I think a lot of your support, you have given the space to both Shanaz and to Shazana to be able to do this with your inputs, your guidance. Many of you have just devoted an enormous amount of time, I know that. And so her ability to soar higher will be a function of getting more inputs from all of you. So keep it up, folks. Thank you very much to all of you, and have a lovely evening.
Shazana. You know, we talk about how today children are caught up in so many other things, but I would actually like to differ a bit. I think we are all, at least those of us who are here in the cities, we're all facing the reality of climate change, of challenges that we can see around us environmentally, socially, and yet, as Charat rightly said, not just the children, even the adults, all of us actually, are too caught up in our own world to think or act on that. And it is in this context that I find the work that Shazana has done, where she's been introduced to some of these unpleasant realities of our times, but has not stopped and forgotten about it, but has actually persevered, pursued, followed through, actually visited a farm, which I think is such a rarity in today's day and age for people from the cities to go around and do. Understand and not stop just there. Understand what is happening and to say that I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to start playing a role. I'm going to start making a difference. And then to pursue that and see that idea change from one farmer, one crop cycle to farmers in a village. And then we are very happy to have Shazana, join our fair trade movement. I still remember when we first met in Chennai. And as fair trade, that's one of our occupational hazards. We tend to get into this slightly preachy mode where we get into talking about the issues and how urgent it is and how all of us need to be a part of the solution. But with Shazana, it was really inspiring to see that here was a child who was fully aware. Here was a person, actually, who was engaged in what is happening around her, what is happening behind the choices of food that she's making, behind the choices of fashion that she's making, and is concerned. And is not only stopping at concern, but is keen to make that change happen, that improvement happen in the world around us. And that, in many ways, I feel, is the story of inspiration that Shazu's Farm Tales captures. I think it's a testimony to the school, to the environment that you have at home, but also your own thought processes that have developed, where that inquisitiveness has translated to action, has translated to inspiration. And we at Fairtrade are really, really excited to have Shazana, and she's already been an ambassador and contributed to the Fairtrade movement in so many meaningful ways. As a champion, raising awareness, as a campaigner, as an inspirational speaker for the young people that we engage with. And I think it's that where actually the hope lies for today and tomorrow. That we have young people like Shazana who are interested and who care about what is happening around us and who are keen to change it, who are not willing to accept the status quo, whether for the farmers, whether for the environment, but want to make that difference, want to take action, whichever way they can initially, and ultimately try and understand how they can contribute. And it's really incredible how Shazana has also understood that how the choices that we make in our everyday, as the famous educator Anna Lappe has said, every time you spend money, you're casting a vote for the kind of world you want, right? And that's effectively also where Shazana has taken the movement into what is the SDG 12, Sustainable Consumption and Production, the Sustainable Development Goals, and become a champion for the global goals actually as well. And all of that, at a really, really young age, I can't wait to see what you're going to do next, Shazana. Really, this is really the start of a wonderful journey, another chapter in a wonderful journey. And I think your book is there to inspire many young people, and at least to introduce the concept. And I'm sure the young people today, and there are many around here as well, they will pick it up. They will pick it up from where you've left it, and hopefully join the movement for a better tomorrow. So thank you so much. Congratulations. And I'd like to congratulate Sharif and Shahnaz as well for this incredible, incredible milestone. Thank you so much.
Greenக்கு ரெண்டு அர்த்தம் இருக்கு, ஒன்று பச்சை ஒன்று பசுமை. பசுமை புரட்சின்னு பேர் வச்சாங்க, அது பச்சை புரட்சியாக தான் மாறிச்சு. So of course a lot of things happen and everything has to be green. So incidentally or luckily, congratulations to Shazu that your publisher is also emerald, which is a green stone. And you also put a sort of a slogan, children, why are you all standing? Any particular drama you're going to do over here or any particular thing? Why don't you be seated with me? Come here, come here, come here. Come here, come on stage here. Come on stage, all of you come on stage. குழந்தைங்களா வாங்க இங்க, சும்மா வாங்க கலாட்டம். நான் டீச்சர்ப்பா, basically I'm a teacher. I started teaching in 74. This is my 49th year of teaching. So, வாங்கடா. ஆமா. சும்மா இருக்கக்கூடாது. நான் பேசுகிற பிறகு அதை கரெக்டாக பண்ணணும், ஏதாவது ஒரு ஆக்ட் பண்ணணும். பண்ணுவீங்களா பண்ண மாட்டீங்களா? பண்ணணும். Something, right? Discuss among yourselves. The small thing you should do in about 2 minutes after I finish talking. Go ahead, discuss. Yeah. சும்மா வேலை கொடுங்க, சும்மா வர வச்சு அனுப்புறாங்க. பாவம் கொடுங்க, நின்றே கிடையாது. ஆமாம். In fact, you be here. You are also part of the team. She told about heart, and if you jumble the word, சத்தம் வரக்கூடாது. இந்த ஹார்ட்ல இருக்கிற அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட்ல இருக்கிற ஹெச் எடுத்து கடைசியில போட்டா என்ன வரும்? Your heart should be where the earth is. That's what we forgot about it in our lifetime. இங்க வந்து நான் வந்து நிறைய மண்ணில் ஆராய்ச்சி பண்ணேன். என்னுடைய complete research has been on soils, and I was the one who coined the term vermitech for the world. So இந்த மண்புழு ஆராய்ச்சியெல்லாம் ஆரம்பிச்சு பண்ணிருக்கும்போது 78, 79ல, in fact your teacher Bhavani is like a student to me. Your first principal Bhavani Shankar, he was like a student, and Vani's mom was my senior colleague, Rani Kandasamy. Yeah, convey my regards to her. Yeah. I'm an old timer. இந்த மண்ணை பற்றி நிறைய ஆராய்ச்சி பண்ணும்போது தான் எனக்கு திடீர்னு தோணுச்சு, இந்த குழந்தைங்க எழுதிருக்கு ரொம்ப அழகாக இருக்கு. Thanks to your school for having encouraging her, and teachers, I would appreciate if you can give the real value of soils to your children. Farm Tales இந்த புக்கு கொடுத்துருக்குறாங்க. நீங்கள் Farm Tales கிளப்னே ஆரம்பிச்சிடலாம் உங்கள் ஸ்கூலில். Because you know, like, soil is something which is very, very important, and people who go around the world in a motorbike saying save the soil is actually selling soil at 140 rupees per 100 grams. அது வேற விஷயம். But when we take up soil per se, மண்ணுக்கு வந்து I have classified it and given various descriptions of the soil, various systems for the soil. அது ஒரு உயிருள்ள ஒரு பொருள் அப்படின்னு கொண்டு வந்தேன். இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் மண் வாசனை அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. மண்ணுக்கு வாசனை உண்டா அப்படின்னு கேட்டா உண்டா? பிரின்சிபல் பாருங்க, ரொம்ப டிப்ளமேட்டிக்காக பதில் சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க. மண்ணுக்கு வாசனை உண்டா இல்லையா? சுத்தமாக கிடையாது. மண்ணுக்கு சுத்தமாக வாசனை கிடையாது. மண்ணை எடுத்து நீங்கள் வெயிலில் காய வச்சு மோந்து பாருங்கள், சுத்தமாக வாசனை கிடையாது. மழை பெஞ்சா வருதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, ஆனால் தண்ணிக்கு வாசனை கிடையாது. மண்ணுக்கும் வாசனை கிடையாது, தண்ணிக்கும் வாசனை கிடையாது, ஆனால் மண் வாசனை உண்டு. அந்த மண் வாசனைக்கு காரணம் மண்ணும் கிடையாது, தண்ணியும் கிடையாது, மண்ணில் வாழுகின்ற நுண்ணு இருக்குது. The microorganisms, the actinomycetes, which really give that sort of a fragrance. இப்போ இது வரணும்னா we have to bring back life in the soil. அப்போதான் சாயிலுக்கு வேறு சிஸ்டம்ஸ்ன்னு சொல்லும்போது தான் மண்ணுக்கு மூளை இருக்கான்னு கேட்டாங்க ஒருத்தங்க. ஏன்னா when I started talking about life, there are big universities with great knowledge and professors who started asking me, மண்ணுக்கு இவ்வளோ சிஸ்டம் இருக்கா, மண்ணுக்கு மூளை இருக்கா, அறிவு இருக்கான்னு கேட்டாங்க. மண்ணில் வந்து ஒரு குழியை வெட்டி you put any sort of a garbage, குப்பையெல்லாம் போட்டிங்கன்னா என்ன ஆகும்? மக்கி போயிடும். ஆனால் ஒரு விதையை போட்டிங்கன்னா வளர வைக்கும். மண்ணுக்கு தெரியும் எதை மக்க வைக்கணும், எதை வளர வைக்கணும். இந்த மண்ணை பாதுகாக்கணும். That we are not doing. And we need a lot of soil organic matter. I'm deliberately talking about all this because this book should not stop with just a sort of a problem for the farmers. But unless we improve the soil, we are not going to have a good harvest in future, which people like Charat and Abhishek would be aware of as to what's happening. And especially with cotton. Cotton, உருப்படியாக பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம், BT cotton கொண்டு வந்து திணிச்சாச்சு. I hope you are all aware of what's happening around you. Please, elders and also my dear children, be aware. போகிறோம் பேசுனது. இப்போ சொல்கிறது கேளு. இந்த BT அப்படின்னு கொண்டு வருவது, BT doesn't stand for biotechnology, it stands for Bacillus thuringiensis. ஒரு பாக்டீரியா, ஒரு நுண்ணுயிர், அதுக்கு பேர் தான் Bacillus thuringiensis. அப்போ BT cotton அப்படின்னு கொண்டு வரும்போது it is a non-edible crop. Non-edible crop. என்ன டீச்சர், காட்டன் சாப்பிடுவீங்களா? சாப்பிட மாட்டீங்களா? இப்படி சொல்லியே கெட்டு போனது நம்ம நாடு. பருத்தி பால் குடிப்பாங்க மதுரையில், பருத்தி கொட்டையில் ஹல்வா தயாரிப்பாங்க, பருத்தி விதையிலேருந்து எண்ணெயை தயாரிப்பாங்க, அந்த புண்ணாக்கு மாட்டுக்கு கொடுப்போம், அந்த பால் நாங்கள் குடிக்கிறோம். ஸோ ஆல் திஸ் இஸ் an edible cycle which was declared not edible and brought into our country. So please be aware of what's happening, and I'm happy that both of them are aiming towards sustainability, because it's only sustainability which is going to save us. In fact, I'm part of the planning commission for the government of Tamil Nadu. I'm a member of the planning commission. And we are designing a separate organic policy for the government of Tamil Nadu. And we have a vision of 2040, by which time we would like to minimize all the chemicals. We would like to go step by step because we don't want to follow the Sri Lankan model and collapse over there. In fact, Sri Lankan model did not collapse because they did not start at all. It was a wrong sort of a explanation by the media. Please be clear as to what's happening around us and how the mafia tries to control us. So please be very clear about all these things. And one more very important concept I would like to tell you is, you see, when a woman is pregnant and if you want the baby to grow well, would you inject medicines to the baby or would you feed the mother properly? Feed the mother. The same thing, any product which is being harvested today, whether it's fruits or vegetables, have lost their nutrients. Now, instead of feeding the soil which will support the growth of these plants and give a sort of a good food for us, we are not concerned about it. We want to fortify the food after being harvested. Rice is being fortified. Yesterday's paper you would have seen that in all the districts, fortified rice is going to be sent. I immediately communicated with all the officers. It's a pressure from the union government. Now, fortified rice, what is fortified rice? அரிசி அறுவடை பண்ணா அதில் வந்து ஒரு சத்தம் கிடையாது, இரும்பு சத்து கிடையாது, எதுவுமே கிடையாது. ஆனால் அரிசி அறுவடை பண்ண பிறகு ஒரு இடத்துக்கு போய் அங்கே அந்த அரிசியை மாவாக்கி அந்த மாவில் B6, B12 and iron content ஆட் பண்ணி திரும்பி அதை அரிசி வடிவத்தில் உருவாக்கி for 10 kgs of this rice, 90 kgs of ordinary rice will be mixed up and given through the PDS system for children, because today women don't have enough amount of iron. Fair enough. But what happens if iron becomes excess? It's something like when we had this fluoride toothpaste, imagining that today the entire country has dandruff in the hair. But dandruff in the hair. You see the advertisements. The same way fluoride came in, the same way iodine came in through salt. Now they want to bring in iron through. These are all corporatization of food. And people like fair trade should be involved. And people like Jarat should encourage such sustainable practices to come in. Because only such collaboration between children, between education, between farmers, between fair trade and between manufacturers, if this liaison comes true, then we would be able to get rid of all these components which are happening around us. Thanks to your school, I always look forward for schools to be very creative. And in fact, we, the state of Tamil Nadu, are against the national education policy. And I'm one of the members who are rewriting the policy for the state education policy. So maybe CBSE may not come in under our purview. They will try to always say, no, we are better. That's a different story altogether. But to be very frank to all the parents, today you go through the textbooks, the best books which are available in the city are the government of Tamil Nadu textbooks and not the CBSE books. I can tell that with confidence because I work with my NCRT also, right? So I'm very happy, but please take this as a model and encourage your children. And parents who are seated over here, please understand that marks do not make a child. It's only such activities and things which would make a child. Shazu has made a sort of a representative, and I would appreciate the parents, Shazana and Sharif, for supporting them. And don't come and shout at me or something like that in case she doesn't get marks. Marks don't make anybody. And be happy with whatever you have. And good luck to you all. And thanks for this opportunity, Shazu. You don't stop with the book, you have to go into action. And I wish the school starts a new club. And you take the initiative farther and farther and forward with the support of people like them who are ready to be with you. Wish you all good luck and have a wonderful evening for the day. Thank you.